Which candidate is more committed to eliminating redistribution of wealth?
Well, from what again, it is a core Republican principle that we have a fundamental problem with the redistribution of wealth, and I particularly like what Ron Paul has said about that issue. It is in contravention of, you know, some core libertarian principles to have the government come in and take from me what I have earned with my own hand.
Are you against all redistribution of wealth?
Oh, if it's coming out of my pocket? Absolutely.
So you're okay.
What do you mean, man?
Okay.
I mean, look, you can do whatever you want with your wealth.
I agree.
You want to come and start redistributing mine? Oh,
and
yeah,
I can
the brother's
understand.
going to have a problem with that.
I can understand why you might be upset. Anybody would. I would.
Absolutely.
So you would be against farm subsidies, right? Because they.
Oh, I've never. Look, I think the government needs to get out of the subsidy business.
And you would be.
I think you heard that tonight on the stage.
You would be against banker bailouts.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
How about money that's taxed taken from the American citizens and given to Egyptians or Pakistanis or?
Look,
isn't that like also redistribution of wealth? But it's not even going to another American; it's going to a foreigner.
I see your point. You know, I think that there's something to be said about you know, use of funds to support foreign interests that are particularly important to the U.S. I think in past years we've kind of gotten out of balance with that.
Like Pakistan?
Again, interest, American interest. We have an interest in our relationship with Pakistan.
But do we have to buy it? Do we have to buy the friendship?
Look, sometimes you do. You know,
really?
Sometimes,
you think that's a good policy?
I don't know if it's a good policy or not, but I know sometimes, you know, you gotta buy the brother down at the other end of the bar a beer. You may not want to.
Really?
But that's how it works.
Can we
sometimes.
trust somebody who we get their friendship by buying it?
Look, I mean, you want to take this down to a very simple, level. The reality is this. The reality is this. All governments, the U.S. included, make choices in building relationships around the globe. Some of those choices are easier to make than others. Some of those relationships are easier than others. You also, in the course of making those decisions and making those choices, have to live with the consequences of that. And that's where the American people get to decide with these presidential candidates whether the choices they would be making are ones that they can live with, the consequences they can live with. If not, guess what? They're not going to support them.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question.
If so, then maybe they will.
After giving Pakistan billions of dollars, we find out that he had been harboring bin Laden for 4 or 5 years. Doesn't that prove the point that I was raising before, that you really can't buy friendship?
You can't, yeah, but that's true. I mean, I get your point. Don't get me wrong, I get your point. And I was just as annoyed by that as every other American. But I also understand how these things come about and how Pakistan has played a role in other areas and at other times. Remember, there was a time where, you know, Iraq and the United States and Iran and the United States all had a very different relationship than the one they have now. So things change, situations change, and the temperament of leaders change. And so the reality of it is the government has to be prepared to deal with those types of changes in the best possible way. Foreign aid is one tool that is in the arsenal that the government has to do that. Again, going back to my original point, is finding that balance and striking that balance between the needs of the people here at home and the foreign aid that we provide to others.